Ladies and gentlemen, this is PR-509 and we are departing for India. In command of this aircraft is Captain Estrellado with First Officer of NASCA. This is your flight attendant Ayasa and our flying time is approximately 2 hours and 15 minutes. A warm welcome to our future educator on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed at Indian International Airport. South Asian Airline welcomes you to India. On behalf of your flight, the crew headed by Captain Estrellado with the First Officer of NASCA and the rest of the team, we thank you for choosing South Asian, your airline of choice.
South Asian Studies is consisting of 8 regions, particularly Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Maldives, and Sri Lanka. It occupies the 3% of the world's land area. It is considered as the most densely populated place on Earth and one of the daunting travel destination in the world. South Asia has the 24% of the world's population, and as a matter of fact, it reaches its population to 1,947,628,100 as of the survey by the year 2020. Despite of the history about ethnic, linguistic, and political, all regions has the same outlook about culture and ethics. Here are some facts about 8 regions in South Asia. Did you know that India has the highest nominal GDP? Maldives is the smallest country in the continent of Asia. Bhutan is the happiest place on earth where you can feel the importance of life. India and Pakistan has also the largest nuclear weapon in Asia. South Asia is bounded to the north by a series of mountain ranges, the Hindu Kush to the northwest, the Karakoram Range in the central north, and the Himalayas in the northeast.
Indology or Indian Studies. Academic study of history, culture, languages, literature of India and the subset of Asian studies. Came from the word Indology used to designate the study of Indian history and culture in preparation for colonial service. It includes the study of Sanskrit literature, Indian religions such as Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. South India has the languages called Dravidian that dedicated and separate branch by Dravidology. Hindu texts in Dravidian languages are considered disciplines in Indology. Some scholars in Indian studies distinguish and classify Indology into characteristics. First one is classical Indology and the second one is modern Indology. Classical Indology deals with cultural and religious history. Main focus is to teach and research the classical languages, philosophies of South Asia, and emphasize the region's historical facts and evidences, while modern Indology is an extension of classical Indology. Main goal is to broadly and diverse the ancient language of South Asia, especially India, and it's more focused on politics and sociology. William Jones is the father of Indology, who has founded the Asiatic Society of Bengal in Kolkata.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is PR-509 and we are departing for Bengal. In command of this aircraft is Captain Estrellado with First Officer of NASCA. This is your flight attendant Ayasa and our flying time is approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes. A warm welcome to our future educator on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed at Bengal International Airport. South Asian Airlines welcomes you to Bengal. On behalf of your flight, the crew headed by Captain Estrellado with the First Officer of NASCA and the rest of the team, we thank you for choosing South Asian, your airline of choice.
Bengal is a cultural and historical region that lies in the eastern part of the Indian subcontinent. It is made of the largest formation in the world, Ganges-Brahmaputra Delta. The present culture of Bengal had its roots in the history of the state. Bengal keeps shuffling between the hands of various rules, making it exposed to different cultures like Mauryans, Guptas and Palas were succeeded by Sena dynasty, who lost Bengal to Qutb ud-Din Aibak, the Sultan of Delhi. After the death of Aurangzeb, Bengal became independent with Muslim governors running the administration. Politically, Bengal is divided between East Bengal or East Pakistan, now an independent state in Bangladesh, and the Indian state of West Bengal. The predominant ethno-linguistic group is Bengali people who speak Indo-Aryan or Bengali language. It has a recorded history of 1,400 years. Bengali Muslims are the majority in Bangladesh, and Bengali Hindus are the majority in West Bengal. The earliest inhabitants in Bengal believed to be Beda from Sri Lanka. In the 18th century, peoples of Arab, Turkish, and Pakistan descent began to enter the area and eventually emerged to become the people now known as Bengali. People in Bengal used to greet each other by saying Namaskar with their hand or palms clasped in their front. Bengal is an important hub of classical South Asian arts. Festivals on the secular Bengali calendar are widely celebrated. All traditional music tends to be based on various variations of Hindustani classical music. It is based on modes called ragas and comprises a long tradition of religious and secular songwriting over a period of almost a millennium. Recently, traditional folk-based Bengali songs are also being released by bands. Dance of Bengali is associated with religion, prayers, festival, rituals, and other that talks about society. Gaudiya Nritya, a Bengali dance that originates from Gouda, is a famous traditional dance, along with martial dances and harvest dance. And talking about handicrafts, West Bengal heritage of handicrafts is legendary. Handicrafts items are widely marketed by state government and other establishments. This fox arts defies easy categorization. The designs are often particular to a specific region. Some pieces carry the imprint of outside influences, ancient and modern. It was rich in tradition, an intangible cultural heritage, while the products retain the deep-rooted elements of Bengal. Bengali literature is regarded as one of the richest in the world. The first evidence of Bengali literature is formed by a collection of 8th and 12th century CE Buddhist mystic poems from Eastern India named Charyapada. Majority of religions practiced in Bengal is Hinduism and Muslim. The minority communities in the state include Christians, Buddhists, Sikhs, and Jains. The state of Bengal is politically partitioned two times. First was on 1905 when Lord Curzon, a former vassal of British India, said that Bengal state is too large to be administered by a single provisional government and its population is too large to handle. He reasoned that by splitting the region it can help to improve its administration. But according to Indian nationalists, they said that the real motive of its partition was to reduce the national enthusiasm and demonstrate the power or the strength of British administration. But due to political protests, the two parts of Bengal united again in 1911. A new partition divided the province on linguistic rather than religious grounds. And in 1947, it was partitioned for the second time solely on the religious ground. It was supported by Muslim of the East Bengal, now Bangladesh. It was motivated by their poor economic condition as well as the believed dominance of the Hindu businessmen over the governance of Bengal. Now, both states have democratic republic government with a parliamentary form of government which is federal in structure with unitary features.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing turbulence. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelts securely fastened. Avoid standing up or going to the lavatories at this time. Due to an unexpected emergency, we just have landed in the Dravidian region. All our cabin crews are doing their best for you to have a safe flight. Thank you for your understanding.
Welcome to the Dravidian Studies. Dravidians are a linguistic group originating in South Asia who predominantly speak any of the Dravidian languages. The origins of Dravidian is indigenous came from Indian subcontinent influenced by West Asia and viewed as being connected to Indus Valley civilization. According to Narasimhan, early Dravidians formed as a mixture of ancient ancestral South Asians. AASA is the indigenous South Asian hunter-gatherers, which is distantly related to the Andamanese, and Neolithic West Asian farmers from Iran. Dravidian holds the majority population in Asia. There are 7 types of Dravidian peoples: Bruhu, Kuruk, Kons, Gan people, Kannadiga, Kodava, and Malayali. Comparative studies shows that on the basis of shared innovations, the Dravidian languages comprise of 4 subgroups: South Dravidian, South Central Dravidian, Central Dravidian, and North Dravidian. According to a study last 2018, Dravidian language family is about 4,500 years old. There are around 245 million native speakers of Dravidian languages. Dravidian speakers from the majority of the population of South India and are natively found in India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Maldives, Nepal, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka. Dravidian language family is the 4th or 5th largest in the world, which includes approximately 25 modern languages. It consists of 80 varieties spoken by nearly 20 million people across southern and central India. The 4 largest languages in the Dravidian family are Kannada, Malayalam, Tamil, and Telugu. Dravidian religion constituted of an animistic and non-Vedic form of religion, which may have influenced the Agamas, Vedic, and non-Vedic texts. The worship of village deities, as well as sacred flora and fauna in Hinduism is recognized as a survival of the pre-Vedic Dravidian religion. This represents an early religious and cultural fusion or synthesis between ancient Dravidians and Indo-Aryans, which became more evident over time with sacred iconography, traditions, philosophy, flora and fauna that went on to influence and shape Indian civilization. It is believed that the literal evidence of traditional form of theater, dance, and music of the Dravidians are started during the 3rd century BCE. Silapatikaram is the ancient literary works of Dravidians, which is the system of their music. Dravidian visual arts are stylized temple architecture. The Dravidian movement was based on the linguistic divide in India, where most of the northern India, eastern India, and western India languages are classified as Indo-Aryan, whereas the South India languages are classified as Dravidian. Dravidian politics has developed by associating itself to the Dravidian community. Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam or DMK and its political rival All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam or AIDMK have been the major players among the Dravidian parties since the mid-1960s. These two parties are political rivals, barring political alliances with DMK or AIADMK. Since the 1990s, no other political party has won more than a few seats in India Parliament or State Legislative Assembly of Tamil Nadu. Since 1996, members of the DMK and AIADMK have held.
Through recent migration, Dravidians are also present in Singapore or the United Arab Emirates. The present people of the Indian subcontinent, including Dravidians, are of a mixed genetic origin and have ancestry from indigenous South Asian hunter-gatherers, Neolithic West Asian, farmers from Iran, and steppe Bamnaya.
Tamilology, superset of the larger field of Dravidian studies. It denotes study of Tamil language, Tamil literature, and the culture of Tamil people. Tamil is a Dravidian language that natively spoken by the Tamil people of South Asia. Tamil, Tamil means self-speak, one own speech, and also means oneself and self. It is an official language of Indian state of Tamil Nadu. Tamil has 4 varieties based on Dravidian family of language: Tamil Kannada, Tamil Kodagu, Tamil Malayalam, and Tamil Tamil. Tamil was the first classified as a classical language of India and is one of the longest surviving languages in the world. Tamil language is written in Brahmi script. Tamil Nadu is an enchanting land in the extreme south peninsula of India. It has an impressive coastline along the Bay of Bengal over 100 kilometers. Tamil Nadu is the 11th largest state and the 6th most populous state in India. Tamil Nadu is established in January 26, 1950. Tamil is a Dravidian language spoken in the Tamil Nadu and parts of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka are also known as Tamils because 1/3 of Sri Lankans are Tamils.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is PR-509 and we are departing for Pakistan and the region of Sindh. In command of this aircraft is Captain Estrellado with First Officer of NASCA. This is your flight attendant Ayasa and our flying time is approximately 45 minutes. A warm welcome to our future educator on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed at Pakistan International Airport. South Asian Airlines welcomes you to Pakistan and the region of Sindh. On behalf of your flight crew headed by Captain Estrellado with the First Officer of NASCA and the rest of the team, we thank you for choosing South Asian, your airline of choice.
Pakistan is home to one of the oldest civilizations in the world, the Indus Valley Civilization. Evidence exists to support the theory that the Indus Valley cities existed at the same time as those of the ancient Egyptians. Many of the sites in the country are amazing indications of the progressive communities that inhabited this region. For 300 years, the area now known as Pakistan was ruled by Islamic civilizations filled with Arabs of all types, including Persians and Turks, until the early 90s. It was only in 1947, when Pakistan underwent a harsh partition from India, that Pakistan became a nation. Initially, Pakistan consisted of an eastern and a western part. Further conflict led to the eastern section of Pakistan separating and becoming what we know today as Bangladesh. The people live in Pakistan are called Pakistani. Due to Islamic and tribal influences, non-urban regions of Pakistan have varying levels of gender segregation, while big cities too have conservative expectation in terms of interactions between men and women. Couples usually don't hug or kiss in public in a non-platonic way. Regardless of that, the people of Pakistan are helpful, friendly, approachable, and humble. Pakistan came into existence to provide its people with a way of life based on Islam. The people, customs, and traditions commonly follow the one religion. Islam is practiced by almost all Pakistanis. The food consumed and social etiquette conforms strictly to Islamic principles and rules. In Pakistani culture, the male members of the family have the key position. The family is headed by a male, and usually he will be the sole source of income for the other members of family. While many nations are adopting English, Pakistan is going the opposite way, with the Supreme Court ruling for it to be replaced with Urdu as the official language. According to Ethnologies, a website on languages, people speak as many as 74 languages in Pakistan. Like music from around the world, Pakistani music can be classified for two major purposes: music for religious or ceremonial purposes and music for pleasure. Qawwali are mystical songs of the Sufi poets. They contain rhythmic, repeated chanting of phrases aimed to bringing the message of universal love and unity for all, the exclusion of none. Ghazal are songs about love, a universal musical inspiration developed from Arab and Persian poetry. Pakistan has a rich history in all the visual arts: painting, architecture, textiles, and decorative arts and sculptures. Traditionally, visual arts in Pakistan have been influenced by Islam's preference for geometric shapes. These ancient designs often look modern to people in the West. Today, Pakistani artists produce a vast array of visual arts in both traditional and modern designs. The politics in Pakistan takes place within the framework under which the country is established by the constitution. Pakistan is an Islamic and federal parliamentary republic with Islam being its state religion and is classified as a nation-state in South Asia. The Prime Minister of Pakistan solely leads the executive government, which is independent of state parliament. A bicameral parliament that is composed of two chambers, the Senate or upper house and the National Assembly or lower house. The judicature branch forms with the composition of the Supreme Court as an apex court alongside with the high courts and other inferior courts. The judiciary's function is to interpret the constitution and federal laws and regulations. The President of Pakistan is a ceremonial figurehead who represents the unity of the nation-state. The presidency is a vital part of the parliament. Pakistan is divided in 4 provinces, 2 territories, and 1 capital territory. Each province has provincial assembly. A directly elected legislature, members are elected for 5-year terms. Each assembly elects a chief minister, who then selects the ministers of his or her cabinet.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is PR 509 and we are departing for Pakistan and the region of Sindh. In command of this aircraft is Captain Estrellado with First Officer of NASCA. This is your flight attendant Ayasa and our flying time is approximately 45 minutes. A warm welcome to our future educator on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed at Pakistan International Airport. South Asian Airlines welcomes you to Pakistan and the region of Sindh. On behalf of your flight crew headed by Captain Nasrullah with the First Officer of NASCA and the rest of the team, we thank you for choosing South Asian, your airline of choice.
Sindh, one of the 4 provinces of Pakistan and historical home to Sindhi people. Pakistan consists of 4 provinces. Its second largest province is known as Sindh, with its capital in Karachi, which is not only the most populous metropolis of the country but also a commercial hub. Karachi is the capital of Pakistani province of Sindh. It is the largest city in Pakistan and the 12th largest city in the world. Karachi is Pakistan's most cosmopolitan city, linguistically, ethnically, religiously diverse, as well as one of Pakistan's most secular and socially liberal cities. Sindh was a cradle of civilization as the center of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, and through its long history was the seat of several dynasties that helped shape its identity. The history of Sindh or Sindh refers to the history of the modern-day Pakistani province of Sindh, as well as neighboring regions that periodically came under its sway. Historical places of Sindh, one of these is Mohenjo-daro, Ranikot, and Kot Diji Fort. When we say Mohenjo-daro, it is the archaeological site in the province of Sindh, Pakistan. It was one of the largest settlements of the ancient Indus Valley civilization and one of the world's earliest major cities contemporaneous with the civilization of ancient Egypt. Second, Ranikot, the world's largest fort and the Great Wall of Sindh. Kot Diji Fort was the forerunner of the Indus civilization. Most of the population in province is Muslim, with sizable Hindu minorities. Sindhi or Sindhis are the people who live in Sindh. The Sindhi people are an ethnic group native to the former Sindh province of the British colony of India, which also included modern-day Bangladesh and Pakistan, which today is one of the 4 provinces of Pakistan. Most Sindhi people were originally Hindus or Buddhists, but the arrival of Muslim Arabs in the 7th century deeply influenced Sindhi religion and culture. Sindhi are an Indo-Aryan ethno-linguistic group who speak the Sindhi language and are native to the Sindh province of Pakistan. After the partition of India in 1947, most Sindhi Hindus and Sindhi Sikh migrated to the newly formed Dominion of the India and other parts of the world. Today, ethnic Sindhis are found predominantly in the Pakistan, while a minority reside in the India.
About the Sindhi religion, most of Sindhi's people follow the Hindu religion, which has almost 90%, although Sindhi Sikh are prominent minority which has 5 to 10%.
The government of Sindh is the provincial government of the province of Sindh, Pakistan. Its powers and structure are set out in the provision of the 1973 Constitution, in which 29 districts come under its authority and jurisdiction. The government includes the cabinet, selected from members of the Sindh Assembly. The head of state of the province is known as the governor, and the province administrative head is the chief secretary. The terms government of Sindh or Sindh government are often used in official documents. The seat of government is in Karachi, thus serving as the capital of the province.
The main objective of the South Asian countries is to promote economic growth, improve on the quality of life, maintain peace, cultural development, and social progress in the regions, and provide all individuals the opportunity to live in dignity. South Asian Airlines is now signing off. Thank you for watching.